Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderlost Gaming and welcome to my playthrough of the Dunwich Legacy Arkham Horror LCG. This is episode 2, so we've only just sort of started the campaign. If you want to have a look at the first scenario I played, which was The House Always Wins, obviously it's in the Arkham Horror LCG playlist on my YouTube channel. So what are we doing? Well, it's a fairly long-winded story, so I'll be as brief as I can. This is part of the Old Codgers trilogy that I've put together for the channel, where I've been playing the same investigators through a number of Arkham Horror games. We played Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, we've played Arkham Horror 3rd edition, and we're now moved on to Arkham Horror LCG. And I've been playing with Charlie Kane, Carson Sinclair, and Norman Withers. In the LCG, which is what I'm playing now, unfortunately Norman hasn't made the cut. He's got a bit tired, bless him, so he needed to have a little bit of a rest. So we've got Charlie and Carson running around Arkham and hopefully Dunwich at some point to try and sort out what's going on. Anyway, after that very brief overview, let's get across to the table and see what's going on. Right. Here we are at the table. We are playing the extracurricular activity as our second scenario. We've got a few little housekeeping bits first of all to go through before we actually start playing. First of all, coffee is in hand, so we're all good. That's the first thing. The second thing is we managed to get a little bit of XP in the last scenario, and so we've been spending that XP. We got 4 XP from the scenario. So what I've done with Charlie's deck, first of all, and Charlie is our lead investigator, I've taken out a couple of Madame Lebranche allies. She was good, she was okay, but I couldn't really think of what else to cut, so I've taken her out. But we are putting in the 1-cost classic Leo DeLuca in 2 copies of that. So that's 2 of our XP. I've taken out 1 copy of Resourceful to put in a Peter Sylvester, a 2 XP, the 2 XP version. Now Leo, as maybe regular Arkham Horror players will know, he's a very good ally. He gives us an additional action during our turn. You can use that for anything. And Peter, he gives us +1 agility, +1 will, and after our turn ends, we can heal 1 horror from him. He comes in with 1 sanity, 1 health and 3 sanity. So he's a lovely horror soak. And Leo comes in with 2 and 2. So that's the XP done for that, for Charlie. I will give these the obligatory cat, weasel, shuffle and cut in a second. Contractually obligated to do that through my own head. I'll give those a shuffle in a sec. What have I done with Carson? Well, I have to apologise. Typical gamer. I read a card and read what I thought I wanted it to be, and in fact it's not what I wanted it to be, so my apologies. Carson likes to chop things up with his runic axe, and I'd spent charges on it to increase an inscription more than once, and clearly you can't do that. Because it's part of an upgrade for the runic axe. So for Carson's got 4 XP. He's going to spend 3 of it on the upgrade here for runic axe, and we're going to be doing the ancient power. That costs 3 XP, and that is you may imbue the same inscription up to 3 times. So what I done last time is what I'll be allowed to do this time. So my apologies for that, and you know, I'm taking the hit on XP for doing that, but it's a pretty good XP spend anyway. I'm going to leave 1 XP in the bank for Carson, because what I'm hoping to do is get his runic axe up and running with the XP spend and certain things. I'm looking really to get Script Weaver next time round, which is for every charge spent, you may imbue the axe with up to 2 different inscriptions, and that is 4 XP. So really what I'm looking from this scenario is at least 3 XP if possible. I can't remember if there's too much XP kicking about in this scenario, but it is what it is. So XP done for Charlie, XP done for Carson. We get on to extracurricular activity. I've done the setup, but I'll do some reading to start off with. Dr. Armitage is worried about his colleague, Professor Warren Rice, who might be in trouble. So he's asked for your help in finding his friend. He seems unreasonably nervous about his colleague's disappearance, considering Professor Rice has only been missing for a matter of hours. Setup: gather all the following cards from the encounter sets, which is what I've done. Extracurricular activity: sorcery, the beyond, bishop's thralls, whippoorwills, ancient evils, lovely, locked doors, lovely, and agents of Yog-Sothoth, and we've done that. Depending on the following circumstances, a different version of faculty officers should be used in this scenario. This is our second scenario, so we have completed the House Always Wins, so we're going to use faculty officers. The hour is late, so we're doing that. Set the following cards aside out of play: Jazz Mulligan, Alchemical. It's early here in the UK at the minute. Alchemical Concoction, The Experiment, Professor Warren Rice, Dormitories and Alchemy Labs. Put the Miskatonic Quad, Orne Library, Humanities Building, Student Union, Science Building and Administration Building locations into play. We begin at the Miskatonic Quad. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter decks to build the encounter deck. There's the location suggestion, and we're not going to read that. It should actually say you're now ready to play. It doesn't, but we are ready to play. So agenda 1, the quiet halls. It's got a bit of green on it, so apologies. It says, you have arrived at the Miskatonic University campus in search of Professor Warren Rice. Classes are over and a mysterious silence hangs in the air over the quad. Fairly straightforward. 7 doom on this to advance. And then we've got after hours for our act. And that says, Professor Rice was last seen several hours ago by one of Armitage's students in the Humanities Building. Humanities Building is down here. Gives us a little hint. 3 clues per investigator. So we're after 6 clues to advance that. Extracurricular activity, we're playing on standard. So the skull is going to be -1, and if you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. The cultist is -1, -3 instead if there are 10 or more cards in your discard pile. And then the elder thing is -X. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. X is the total printed cost of those discarded cards. That's our scenario card. I think we're ready to start. We've got some bits and bobs to do though. We've got some shuffling to do over here. These have all been shuffled off screen, but I always do one on screen. And then we'll shuffle up our investigator decks and we'll draw our opening hands. Chaos bag is all set. We will do the obligatory cat weasel cut. There's our encounter deck. And we've got Charlie's deck. Played this scenario a very, very long time ago. So it should be interesting to see how we get on. We'll do a cat weasel cut. Obviously Charlie's starting off on 5 health and 5 sanity because we've got the in the thick of it in play, which is a permanent we purchased at deck creation. That does give us 2 physical or mental trauma in total, and we've taken 1 on each. But we did put in 3 XP's worth of cards right from the outset, which I think is helpful. Okay. Cat Weasel Cut. Slurp of the old coffee. We'll draw our opening hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, ideally what we're looking for with Charlie is motivational speech, some allies. That would be good. We have got a summoned hound, 3-cost ally. We've got a Leo DeLuca. We've got a resourceful, an inspiring presence, and a Bonnie Walsh. I do like the look of a Leo DeLuca, but I also do like the look of a summoned hound. Summoned hound is, as an additional cost to play summoned hound, you must search your bonded cards for 1 copy of Unbounded Beast and shuffle it into your deck. During your turn, except during an action, exhaust summoned hound, fight or investigate, either attack with a base fight skill of 5 or investigate with a base of 5. It's one of these two. Can't play both of them. Or do I? Leo DeLuca is going to give me my best value moving forward, having an additional action every turn from turn 1. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. Good. No, we're going to do that. We'll ditch those 4 and we'll draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got, oh, that's a treachery weakness. So we draw another one. That's a treachery weakness. We'll draw another one. So we've got Dark Horse, Alice Luxley, another Leo DeLuca, and a Calling in Favours. Okay, not great. Not great. But Leo DeLuca. Make sure these are given a good old shuffle. Really could have done with a motivational speech there, but it's in the deck for later. That's the way I look at it. So that's the 5 cards for Charlie. And then we've got 5 with Carson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, again, ideally what we're looking for is a runic axe. Got an unexpected courage, a take heart. There's our runic axe. We've got a Dr. Francis Morgan and a venturer. I do like the Dr. Francis Morgan. Gives us +1 fight. I mean, Adventurer is quite nice as well. Use 3 supplies, spend 1 supply and exhaust Venturer. Oh, he's an ally. He's an ally. No, we'll get rid of him. Do I need an unexpected courage right to start off with? I'm not entirely sure I do. No, I'll keep the Dr. Francis Morgan and the runic axe, and I'll draw 3 more. 1, 2, 3. We have got an evidence. We've got a treachery. So we'll draw another one. We've got the venturer and we've got custom modifications. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Cat weasel cut. And we're all good to go. Right, we'll flip over Miskatonic quad. 3 shroud, 0 clues on it. An action resigned. We can't find Rice anywhere. Where you leave the campus hoping Armitage will forgive you. Well, we're not going to do that, hopefully. Right. Okay. So where do we go? I would like to keep these guys together because splitting the party is never great. So do we immediately head off to the humanities building? I mean, that's where the act is telling us to go. First action from Charlie is going to be to spend his entire 5 to put Leo DeLuca into play. So we've still got 3 actions. Would be nice to get Dark Horse into play next turn. 3 cost. So second action and third action, I'm going to gain a resource. So I'm up to 2 resources. And then 4th action from Leo is I'm going to head down to the humanities building to be there because that's where Carson's going to head to, I think. And he's going to flip over the humanities building. 3 shrouds. 2 clues per investigator, so 4 clues on it. And the humanities building has got forced. At the end of your turn, if you're in the humanities building, discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is the total amount of horror on it. Is the amount of horror on you. Got no horror on me at the moment. Or have I taken one for physical trauma, mental trauma? I think I have. No. Have I or haven't I? Have I taken horror? I think I have, so I'm going to discard the top card. Oh, motivational speech. I think that's right. Let me check. Well, that was a good job I checked because mental trauma does not count as horror taken. So I'm going to put that back on the top. I've got a bit of info now, but I mean, it is what it is. I'd rather have checked that, but it does not count as horror taken. So Charlie has gone now. Carson is going to move down for his first action to the humanities building, just to give Charlie a bit of protection. He's also going to give Charlie an action. So it says, as an action, Carson gets an additional action, which must be spent on the below ability. So his action, this additional action, is choose another investigator at your location. They immediately take an action as if it was their turn. Limit once per round. We will draw a card for Charlie, which is motivational speech. So that's the additional action for Carson. His second actual action is to spend 4, so down to 1, to play his runic axe. It comes in with 4 charges. We get to replenish one of those at the start of each round. So that was his second action, to play runic axe. His third action is going to be to gain a resource. And that's it. Slurp of the old lukewarm coffee. We move on to the enemy phase. There's no enemies in play, so we don't need to worry about. We go to the upkeep phase, reset our actions. We get all of our actions back. We flip over, so we're ready. We ready any exhausted cards, no need to worry about that. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get Rise to the Occasion. And Carson is going to get Unexpected Courage. We gain a resource. Charlie's up to 3. Carson's up to 3. Check our hand size. We're all good. We're nowhere near 8. Back to the top of the... got to do my phases here. We were at the upkeep phase. We then go to the mythos phase. We place a doom on the agenda. 1 of 7. Charlie's going to draw a card from the encounter deck. He's going to get Beyond the Veil, classic one for this scenario. Surge, so we're going to draw another one in a second. Put Beyond the Veil into play in your threat area. If there's no copy of Beyond the Veil in your threat area, there isn't. Forced, if your deck has no cards in it, take 10 damage and discard Beyond the Veil. Delightful. We draw another one for Surge. We get another Beyond the Veil. But we don't do that because we've already got one in our threat area. And then we draw another one for a Surge. Terror from Beyond. Choose a peril. Revelation. Choose one of the following card types. Asset, event, or skill. Each player must discard in his or her hand that is the chosen card type. If this is not the first copy of Terror from Beyond, draw this phase. Choose 2 card types instead. Here's the first one. I'm not going to look at Carson's hand because I'm not allowed to, but I am going to look at Charlie's hand. He's got event, asset, 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 skill. So he will choose asset. Oh no, I'm going to choose asset, obviously. I am going to choose... I'll choose event, which means I discard calling in favours. I can't remember how many events I've got in here. So we've got asset, event, event, asset, skill. So custom modifications and evidence goes for Carson. Terror from Beyond is done. We eventually get to draw in Carson's encounter card, Visions of Future Past, test will 5. For each point you fail, discard the top of your deck. So it's a will test. I'm will 2. Make it 4 with Unexpected Courage. I think I will. We'll make it 4. 4 versus 5 is not great. Can Charlie help? No, because the 2 cards that have got will symbols are motivational speech and dark horse, and I'm not getting rid of those. So 4 versus 5. Oh, +0. But I do get to draw a card. You may resolve this effect anytime another investigator at your location resolves a... Oh, I forgot about that. So we get to draw a card. We're going to get a wolf mask. But we do fail by 1, so we have to discard 1 card, which is the Thompson. Okay, that's not too bad. I can sort of live with that. Put that back in there. Okay, we move on to the investigator phase. So ideally, what we'd like to be doing now is drawing up some clues. Do we play Carson first? Do we play Carson first? I think we do. We play Carson first. First action is going to be to gain a resource up to 4. Playing some setup here. Second action is going to pay 3, so down to 1, to play a Dr. Francis Morgan, giving us +1 fight. And third action, costing 1 resource, is to play the wolf mask. Comes in with 2 offerings on it. Nice little setup for Carson. And he's then going to give us an additional action, to Charlie out of turn. For his additional action, I will play motivational speech for 0. Choose an investigator at your location. I'll choose Charlie. That investigator may play an ally asset from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. I will pay then 1 for Alice Luxley. Costs 4 normally. Gives us +1 intellect. And then that is it for Carson. We've now got 4 actions with first action, gain a resource. Second action, spend 3 resources. To play Dark Horse. Two more actions left. Third action, we're going to investigate. We'll play rise to the occasion. Commit only to a skill test you're performing, and only if the difficulty of that test is at least 2 higher than your base skill value. So we're 3 and my base value is 1. So we're currently going 4 versus 3. I will exhaust Leo DeLuca, who's going to give us +1 for exhausting and +1 for the book. So that's 2. So we're 1, 2, 3. Hang on a minute. Okay, lost count. Right, so we're 1 +2 here, so that's 3. 4 for Alex Huxley. 5 for Dark Horse. 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 3. 8 versus 3. -3. We are successful. We get the clue. We get the clue. Boom. Got to do that last time, so that's rise to the occasion gone. Fourth action, we're going to investigate. We're going to exhaust Alice Luxley. So a base of 1, 2 for Alex Luxley, 3, 4, because we're exhausting her, plus she's got a book. And then we've got 5 for Dark Horse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 3. -2. We are successful. We gain a clue. Boom. 2 clues for Charlie. And that was his 4th action. Or 5 if you include Carson. Okay. We're all good. We move on to the enemy phase. No enemies in play, so we're all good. We go to the upkeep phase. We reset our actions. Flip over. Ready any exhausted cards. Leo and Alice come back online. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get Fire Axe. That's quite nice, just in case. Vicious Blow for Carson. He really wants to kill stuff. Got the hiccups now. We gain a resource. Do we want to gain a resource? Yeah, we do. We do. We've got Fire Axe. That's pretty good. And we check our hand size. We're fine for hand size. We go to the Mythos phase. We put a Doom on the agenda. 2 of 7. We draw a card for Charlie. He is going to get a Thrall. 2 cost, 2 health, 2 to evade. Spawn location with the most clues. Well, that's clearly going to be the Humanities building. And it engages Charlie. Carson's card. He is going to get Ancient Evils, the classic. There's a turn. Absolutely. There's 6, 7, 8 activations. That's what that equates to. It looks very simple, placing 1 doom on the agenda, but that's just lost me 8 actions. Okay, we go to the investigators phase. Well, I think Carson needs to come into his own now. We're going to use his first action to take the thrall off of Charlie. And then his second action, we're going to fight with the runic axe. We will take a charge off of the runic axe to give it +1 damage. Now it's a fight of 2. We are currently 2, 3 for Dr. Francis Morgan, 4 for runic axe, 4 for runic axe. Actually, no. Let's put the charge. Let's put the charge back onto runic axe, and let's play a vicious blow instead. So we're still fighting. We're still fighting with the runic axe. We're just not using a charge. So 2, 3, 4, 5 with vicious blow, and it does +1 damage. 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2, -3. Only just do it, but we do the +1 damage from vicious blow, which is enough to kill the thrall for 2 damage. We will exhaust Dr. Francis Morgan because we've defeated an enemy, so we get to draw a card. He's going to get custom modifications. He's got a third action. Oh, I could have used Wolf Mask. Keep forgetting about that, but that's good. That's all right. We didn't really need it. I don't think I'm going to use the Venturer, to be fair. What do I do? Third action, I'm going to draw a card. Backpack. Okay. That is Carson done. Does what he should do. Got Charlie. Well, just so I can get Dark Horse back online. First action. Oh, hang on a sec. Carson is going to give his additional action to Charlie before he finishes. And for Charlie's additional action, he's going to spend 1 to play a fire axe. That's Carson done. Then we go across to Charlie, who's got 4 actions. And now Dark Horse is up and running. Okay. First action is to investigate. We will use Leo DeLuca. So we're 1, 2, 3. 3 versus 3. 4 for Alex Luxley. 5 for Dark Horse. 5 versus 3. We'll make it 6 versus 3 with Leo DeLuca. 6 versus 3. -3. Good job we did. We don't need a Leo DeLuca at the moment, so that gives us another clue. 3 clues. So that's my first action. Second action, I'm going to use my. I'll do that second action because I know I've got 2 more after this. We will exhaust Alice Luxley to give us 1 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 3 again. Can Carson do anything for us? Carson can. Carson's going to help us with Adventurer. So we're back to 6 versus 3. I'm not going to play that card. So 6 versus 3. +1. We get the clue. 4 clues. Where do we want to go next? Carson's going to be a little bit behind us, but I think for the third action, we're going to move up to the Orne Library. Could be a misplay. 3 Shroud, 1 clue per investigator, so only the 2 in there, but that's going to be enough. It's got a victory 1 on it, which is very nice. I've got 1 action left. I've used all my allies up, so I'm currently 1, 2, 3 versus 3. Yeah, let's go for it. 4th action is to investigate. Just making sure. 1, 2, 3 for Dark Horse. 3 versus 3. You never know. You never know. Skull. Skull -1. If you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Yeah, okay. That was a bad move. So top 3 cards of my deck is going to be a Trial by Fire, a Mariner's Compass, and a Resourceful. Okay, that was bad. Never mind. There we go. That's it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. We move straight to upkeep. We get our actions back. We ready up. We ready these. We gain a resource. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get Scene of the Crime. Nice. Carson's going to get Hallowed Mirror. Very nice. Very nice. Right, okay. That's it. We move to the Mythos phase. We put 1 on there, 4 of 7. I'd like to flip that before we flip that. Hopefully we should be able to do that. Then we draw our encounter card. So Charlie is going to get Eager for Death. Test Will 2. Increase this skill difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. If you fail, take 2 horror. Well, we've got no damage on us. So we are a 1 versus 2. We are a 2 versus 2. We are, I can't play any cards because Carson's not there. So we are a 2 versus 2. Two versus 2 +1. Thank you, Chaos Bag. Carson's encounter card is going to be Locked Door. Ah, nice. Oh, attack. I thought it was going to be his location. Attached to the location with the most clues, which is going to be the Orne Library. frustrating, but I mean, doable. That's it for the myth loss phase. We go to the investigation phase. Who is gonna go first? Who is gonna go first? Well, let's start off with Carson first of all. First action is going to be to move into your library with Charlie. Second action, let's have a go at breaking down the locked door. Test strength 4. So we are currently a base of 2. I will remove a charge from the wolf mask to increase that to 2, so we're at 4. We're at 5 for Dr. Francis Morgan, and then I will play custom modifications to make us 6. So 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. Plus 0, but we do get to draw a card. We draw a card. We get a Thompson. Can't really hold that in a minute, but handy to have in for the thing. Locked door goes. Locked door goes. That was his second action. He's going to give his additional action to Carson, and Carson's going to gain a resource for an action. And then we're back to Carson, who is going to pay 2 for Hallowed Mirror. Let's put that there. Hallowed Mirror is forced. After Hallowed Mirror enters play, search your bonded cards for 3 copies of Soothing Melody. We've got our 3 copies of Soothing Melody there. Add 1 to your hand. Boom. And then shuffle the other 2 into your deck. What Soothing Melody does is heal 2 damage or 2 horror from among investigators and or ally assets at your location. Draw 1 card. These 2 go into his deck. And then we will shuffle. And that was my third. So 1 to move. 2 to do the breaking down. Then we done Charlie. That was my third action to play the Hallowed Mirror. Okay. That is it for Carson. Charlie, first action. We'll do that. He'll spend 2 to play Scene of the Crime. It's his first action. Discover a clue. 2 clues if there's an enemy. Unfortunately, there's not an enemy there, but we do get a clue for Charlie. second action, but first on here, is we're going to exhaust Leo DeLuca to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 3 to investigate. 5 versus 3 minus 2. We do it. We get a clue. We get a clue. Boom. We've got 6 clues, so we're immediately going to spend those to advance the act. Doesn't say you have to be anywhere, doesn't say you have to do it at a certain time, doesn't say it's an action. You just spend the 6 clues. To advance the act after hours. Okay, what it says. The head janitor. You were unable to find Professor Rice, but one of the students you spoke to mentioned a strange man entering Rice's office. Unfortunately, the door leading to the faculty offices is locked at this late hour. The student says the head janitor, Jazz, might be able to let you in, if you can find him. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set aside Jazz Mulligan into the encounter deck. Where is Jazz? There is Jazz Mulligan. He goes into the encounter deck. Do a cat weasel cut. And then we go to 2A, which is Rice's whereabouts. Concerned for Professor Rice's safety, you seek out the head janitor, who can let you into the locked sections of the campus. Action. Spend 1 clue. Discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, top 10 if there's only 1 player in the game. Forced. If you discard Jazz Mulligan for any reason, resolve his revelation effect. Objective. When you take control of Jazz Mulligan, advance. I've got 2 actions left with Charlie. So we're pretty much cleared up this side of the board. Now the student union is only connected to this and something else. We can only get to the student union from here. The science building is, do I go to the science building? Don't really want to get too far away from Carson. Hmm. 4 of 7. We do need clues. We do need clues. So my remaining 2 actions, 1, 2 to the science building, could be a problem. But I'm going to do it. Action economy, well, not action economy, but actions in this game. So 2, we go to the science building. It's a shroud of 2, just the 2 clues on it. Okay. After science building is revealed, put the set aside alchemy labs into play. Okay, bear with me while I do that. Okay, alchemy labs is now in play. It's locked. It says the door leading to the alchemy labs is locked. You cannot move into the alchemy labs, but it's connected to the science building. And that is it for Charlie. Okay. Just making sure I'm recording because I press pause. I always want to make sure. Okie dokie. So that's it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. We move to upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready up. Leo comes back online. We gain a resource. Up to 1. Up to 1 for Charlie. We draw a card for Charlie. We get a scene of the crime. Very nice. And for Carson, we get another wolf mask, which is a fight symbol, which is good. We're okay for cards. We go to the mythos phase. We go to 5 of 7. Charlie's going to draw a card. Encounter card. He is going to get a Yithian Observer. Ouch. Okay, this is what I was not hoping for. It's 4 fight, 4 health. Ouch. 3 to evade. Prey. Fewest cards in hand. When Yithian Observer attacks you, discard 1 card at random from your hand. If you cannot, Yithian Advance deals 1 damage and 1 horror. Does 1 damage, 1 horror. Anyway, it's victory 1. That comes engaged with Charlie. He's got a fire axe, which is pretty decent. But I think Carson may well have to come and deal with that. 4 health. Okay. I think Carson can deal with it. Let's see what Carson gets. Carson's going to get an arcane barrier attached to your location. Oh, God. We've got to test will to get out. Test will of 4. If successful, discard arcane barrier. Otherwise, you must either cancel your card's effects of the move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to deal with that, clearly. Arcane barrier. Could have been worse. It could have been worse. Right. Yeah, that's it. We go to the investigator phase. We've got to go with Carson first. I'm 2. I could make it 3 with a hallowed mirror. But I don't think I'm going to. 4 versus 2. I can't pass it. There's not a +2 in there. And the elder sign is a +0. So -2. I'm going to fail, but then I'll just discard the top 5 cards of my deck, which is not great. But I've got to move. 1, 2 to move. And then I'm going to have to swing at the Yithian Observer whilst it's still engaged with Charlie. Because I haven't got the actions to engage it. So I'm going to be taking a risk swinging at the Yithian Observer and potentially hitting Charlie for a lot of damage. But that is what it is. That's Arkham Horror. Okay. Let's do that. First of all, let's test the arcane barrier. 4 versus 2. 4 versus 2. Skull -1. If you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Did not want that. So I'm discarding the top 3. 1, 2. It's another runic axe. 3. Hunter's armor's gone. And then I'm going to discard the top 5 cards in my deck to move. live and learn. 1 in the chamber, 2. 3 is live and learn. 4 is a selfless to fault. And 5 is to take the initiative. But I do get to move. So 1, 2 to move into the science building. Now I need to swing and try and kill the Yithian observer. And this is the exact reason why I've taken ancient power. So it's a fight of 4. I'm currently 2, 3. I haven't engaged with it. But I am going to use a wolf mask. I don't get to replenish my charge because I haven't engaged it, but I do get +2. Right, let's think about this. I am going to be fighting with the runic axe for my 3rd action. So fighting. So 2, 3 for Dr. Francis Morgan, 4, 5 for the wolf mask, 6 for the runic axe, 6 currently for the runic axe. Seven, 8, playing a wolf mask and a Thompson. So that takes me to 8. I'm going to take 3 charges off of the runic axe to give me +3 damage, which I'm allowed to do through ancient power. So 8 versus 4. 8 versus 4. -1. Yes, we pass, obviously. 7 versus 4. We do 4 damage to the Yithian observer, which kills it. We put that in our victory display. Ooh. That's why I love the runic axe. But that is Carson done. If we'd have missed, would have been doing 4 damage to Charlie. Those 2 go. Do we get anything? I will exhaust Dr. Francis Morgan because we've defeated an enemy, so I get to draw a card. I get to draw a Venturer. Oh, as an additional, I'm going to give my additional action before I finish. Actually, let's turn it back over. So before I finish my turn, I'm going to give my additional action to Charlie, which is to gain a resource. And then that's Carson done. First action from Charlie is to spend 2. Oh, if only the observer had been there. Never mind. We get to discover a clue at your location. So I'm going to get the clue. So that was my first floating. That's my floating action from Leo DeLuca. My second action is to spend that clue to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck to see if we can get Jazz. So first 1 is a Thrall. 2 is Jazz. 2 is Jazz. Yes. Right. Put Jazz Mulligan into play in your location. While Jazz Mulligan is not controlled by an investor, he gains parlay, test intellect 3. If successful, take control of Jazz Mulligan. When you control Jazz Mulligan, you ignore the text on each unrevealed Miskatonic University. So he's coming in there. We didn't need that other clue. So My third action is to parlay with jazz. Right, we need to work this out. Let's just have a quick think about it. So, I really need this to pass. So I'm currently 1, 2, 3 for dark horse. I will exhaust Leo De Luca to give us an additional 2, so that's 5. And then Carson is going to help us out by chucking in a venturer to make us 6. 6 versus 3. I'm going to do it. I'm going to exhaust Alice Luxley as well. Oh no, we can't do 2. We can't do 2. During a skill test, you're performing exhaust an ally you control. Oh, bear with me. Can I do exhaust more than 1? Hang on. Yes, you can exhaust more than 1 ally. So, let's go back. Let's go back and work out the costs of this. So, I'm currently 1, 2 for Alex Luxley, 3 for Dark Horse. I'm 3 at the moment. If I exhaust him, I get 2. So that's 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 versus 4, 3. That is correct. So it's 2 each for there. Takes us to 5. 6 for there. 7 for Dark Horse. Apologies, I keep. Seven for Dark Horse. 7 versus 3. 0. We get control of Jazz Mulligan. He actually doesn't cost us an ally slot either. Third action, I'm actually going to move into the Alchemy Labs. That's my 4th action. Alchemy Labs. Oh, that is a Shroud of 5. You can investigate. If you're successful, you take the alchemic concoction from underneath this location if able. There's no alchemic. Oh, I should have advanced. Bloody hell. Shit. No, I've only just taken control of him. That's good. When you take control of him, advance. Let's just put that back for a sec. Because we should have done that. We should have done that straight away. As soon as we got hold of Jazz, we should have done that. Right, so this is the experiment is loose. You convince Jazz that something strange is going on and that Professor Rice may be in danger. He doesn't trust you enough to hand you his keys, but he agrees to come with you. All of a sudden, you hear a crash coming from the science building, and a student rushes towards you. Help, he cries. There's some kind of animal loose in the chem labs. I only barely caught a glimpse of it, but, he shudders, I think it's heading towards the dorms. You've got to do something. If the Alchemy Labs is not in play, put it into play. If you're on agenda 1 or 2, we're on agenda 1. Spawn the set aside experiment in the Alchemy Labs. If you've completed the house winds, put the set aside alchemic concoction into play underneath the Alchemy Labs. If the extracurricular activity is the first scenario of the campaign, remove the set aside alchemic concoction from the game instead. So, right, we're putting Alchemy Labs is already in play. Set aside experiment in the Alchemy Labs. We need that. We need that. Oh, God. Jeez. Right, so the experiment is 4 fight, 7 health. It gets +1 health, +3 health per investigator, so that's +6. That's 13. Ouch. Massive. Forced. When the enemy phase begins, ready the experiment. Objective. If the experiment is defeated, advance to 3B. Victory 2. So that's coming into play at the Alchemy Labs. Oh, sorry. The light is doing that. So let's put that there like that. And the alchemic concoction is fight, action fight. This attack uses intellect instead of fight. If you use this to attack the experiment, this attack deals +6 damage. If you succeed, remove alchemic concoction from the game. And where does that come into play? That's in the Alchemy Labs as well. Okay. Campus safety. You have only moments to react. You would warn the students in dormitories and escort them to safety, or continue your task of searching the faculty offices for Professor Rice. Or perhaps you could try to slay the beast that threatens the campus. Find and complete an objective on an encounter card. Okay, well, if we kill the experiment, that's sort of it. Got one more action with... Now, I don't really want to move in. I don't really want to move in. Do I take an attack of opportunity if I pick that up? I probably will. Two and two. Okay, well we can deal with that. One more action with Charlie. He's going to draw a card for his fourth action. Calling in favours. Not okay, not good, not great. That'll do. That will do. Okay. Right, that's it for the investigation phase. Charlie's done. We move to the enemy phase. We'd ready the experiment. Doesn't move by the looks of it. No, when the enemy phase, ready it. That's it. It stays there. It's massive. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We ready up. We gain a resource. We get rid of all these. We draw a card. Charlie's going to get, here we go, burden of leadership. If you control no ally assets, shuffle burden of leadership back into your deck. Otherwise, for each ally asset you control, either exhaust it or deal 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror. Yeah. That's going to be a pain. I'll take the damage and the horror. 1, 1, 1, 1. Jazz Mulligan is not an ally asset. He's not got the ally symbol. I'm not going to exhaust it. Okay. Cool. Drawing a card for Carson. Hunter's Armour. Nice. Haven't got the cost to pay it, but there we go. That's it for the upkeep phase. We go to the Mythos phase. We put a Doom on the agenda. We're now at 6 of 7. We draw a card. Charlie's going to get a card. Charlie's going to get Arcane Barrier. Yeah. That's annoying. Arcane Barrier. But that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be annoying. And Carson is going to get pushed into the beyond. Revelation. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. I'm going to put Hallowed Mirror. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset into your deck. We'll put that in there, and then we're going to shuffle it up. Oh, getting low on cards. We'll do a cat weasel cut. And then we have to discard the top 3 cards of my deck. If we discard Hallowed Mirror, we're taking 2 horror. So with top 1 is Take Heart. Second one is One in the Chamber. Third one is Hallowed Mirror. Damn it. Take 2 horror. Okay. We will take 2 horror down to 4. Down to 4. 1, 2. At the start of the round, we're going to put resource onto Runic Axe. And then we go on to the investigator phase. Need to have a think. Okay, I've had a little think. So, first action from Charlie is going to be to move in, or attempt to move into the alchemy labs. Bloody arcane barrier is going to be a pain. So a will of 4 against a will of 1. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to fail. -3. It's a fail. But I will discard the top 5 cards of my deck. So we're getting rid of Summoned Hound, 1, 2 Farax, 3 Paranoia, 4 Bonnie Walsh, and then 5 is Alice Luxley. Okay. But we've still moved. We then become engaged with the experiment because it's massive, so it doesn't actually come to us, it just stays there. That was my first action. My second action is to pick up the alchemic concoction, which does mean I'm going to take an attack of opportunity from the experiment, hitting me 2 for 2. I'm going to put 1 on Jazz and 1 horror on Jazz. And then I'm going to take 1 damage and 1 horror. Oh, should have got rid of all those clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're down to 4 and 4. We're taking the 2 and 2 attack of opportunity. Then as my third action, I'm going to use the alchemic concoction to fight, using my intellect instead of fight. Got 1 resource, which is a bit of a pain, so I'm not getting +1. Urgh. Fight of 4. I shouldn't have taken the resource. Sorry, I'm going to hot tub time machine. I'm going to not take the resource. Sorry, my mistake. I'm not going to do that. Don't do it very often, but I'm going to not take the resource. So, then I'm going to exhaust Leo DeLuca and Alice Luxley. So let's work out what we've got. 1 base, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Dark Horse. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. 0. Boom. We use the alchemic conduction, which does 7 damage to the experiment. Seven damage. We remove alchemic concoction from the game. It's got 6 health left. For my fourth action, I'm going to attempt to hit it with the fire axe. I don't think it's really going to work particularly well. So 2, no 1. Hasn't got retaliate. I'm 2 because of dark horse. I've got no resources to spend. So I'm 2 versus 4. Can't do anything. Actually, I think I'm going to pass on my 4th action for Charlie. I'm going to pass. Carson is going to go. He's going to move in to Alchemy Labs. As soon as he moves in, he engages with the experiment, which puts a charge onto the wolf mask. That was my first action. Second action is to fight. So 4 versus 2 at the moment, 3 for Dr. Francis Morgan, 3 versus 4. I'll remove offering from the wolf mask to give us +2. So we are 2, 4, 5 versus 4. I'll remove a charge from the runic axe. To give us +2 fight. So we are 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I will remove a charge to give us +1 damage. So 7 versus 4 for +1 damage. -2. We pass. We do 2 damage to it. So it's now 9 of 13. Moved, attacked. Running out of charges. Four damage to do. I've got 4 damage to do. 1 action left. Haven't defeated an enemy. So I'm currently 4. Currently 4 if I fight with the runic axe again. It would be 4 versus 4. I've got nothing to chuck in. I've got nothing to chuck in. But third action, 4 versus 4 on a fight. -2, we fail. But it's got not retaliate, so that's that. That is that. We move to the enemy phase. It's going to hit us both for 2 and 2. Oh, God. This is going to be close. I'll take 2 and 2 on Charlie, so he's down to 2 on both. One, 2. One, 2. Now for Carson, he'll put 2 damage onto Francis Morgan. He's got 4, so we're good. But we'll have to take the 2 sanity hit. 1, 2. Move on to the upkeep phase. We ready up everything. We ready up. We gain a resource. Now, do I gain a resource for dark? I can gain a resource now because then I can spend it on fire axe. I will gain the resource. We draw a card. Charlie's going to get Ravener's Company. It's no good to us now. Carson's going to get Soothing Melody. Okay. Not the best. We're ready up. Okay. Start of the round. At the start of the round, we get a charge on Runic Axe. We go to 7 of 7 for Quiet Halts. So we flip it over. The university is dead silent. The shadows coil about your feet as you walk, and you swear there is something following you with each step you take. Is it just your imagination, or is it really someone or something stalking you there? Each investigator with 5 or more cards in his or her discard pile takes 1 horror. Each investigator with 10 or more cards in their discard pile takes 2 horror. So Charlie is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, he's over 10, so he's going to take 2 horror. It's not direct horror. So unfortunately, Leo and Alice are going to go. Going to have to do that. Got no choice, which is a bit frustrating. But there we go. It is what it is. Clearly, oh, right. Francis Morgan is going to have to take a horror. And that drops me then down to 1. Oh, God. Uh-oh. That's annoying. So 1 horror onto Carson, down to 1. Oh. Must have forgot to do that earlier. If the players have completed House Always Wins, advance directly to 2B. 2B. Oh, advance directly to 2B. 2B. An experiment gone wrong. A cry of fear echoes through the campus and several students flee from the eastern side of the university where the science building can be found. Could this commotion be linked to Dr. Rice's disappearance? If the dormitory's location is not in play, put it in play. If the experiment is in play, move it 1 location towards the dormitories. If the experiment is not in play, spawn the science building. Spawn it in the science building dormitories. Hang on, I'm going to have to fix this. I don't know why that's doing that. Bear with me. Okay. Right, sorry about that. So we've got to put the dormitories into play. And that's connected to the student union down here. Oops. Turn that over. So that's connected to there. We move the experiment 1 towards the dormitories. So it's going to move across to the science building. That's it. 3A. Some kind of wild creature is on the loose. Whatever it is, it appears to be heading towards the university's dormitories. When this agenda would advance by reaching its doom threshold, instead remove all doom in play and move the experiment 1 location towards the dormitories. If the experiment enters the dormitories, advance. And it's got 2 on it. Okay. We're going to draw a card for Charlie. He gets a whippoorwill. Ah, that's annoying. It is aloof. I've got Hunter. It's going to stay there for the time being. And then Carson is going to get a whippoorwill. Of course, they now come out. Okay, well, we need to sort of kill it this turn. Investigator phase. I need to be able to do 4 damage to it. Or do we? Yeah, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad. So first action from now, do I go in? Or do I try and heal first? First action is to play soothing melody. And I'm going to heal 2 horror on Carson. 1, 2. Takes me back up to 3. His first action. Second action, I'm going to move in and engage with the experiment. When I get engaged, I get a token on Wolf Mask. Third action, I'm going to fight with the Runic Axe. I'll remove a token from the Wolf Mask. So we are 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 4. I'll remove the charge to give me +2 fight. So 7 versus 4. Seven versus 4. We fail. -4. Oh, God. Oh, I should have used Carson's thing to move Charlie. Sorry, I was thinking about doing that. I was going to do that. It was free action. Oh, that's annoying. No, hang on. God. Charlie's on 2 and 2. That's Carson done. Charlie's actions. He's only got 3 actions now. First action, draw a card. Art student. I'm digging for cards now. Second action, draw a card. Trial by fire. Third action. Sorry, that was moving the wrong one. Draw a card. Summoned Hound. Right, there we go. Okay, that sort of sets us up a little bit. Right. Enemy phase. We're going to get hit for 2 and 2. Carson's going to get hit for 2 and 2. So he's down to 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. That's it. It's not going to move. We're going to go to the upkeep phase. Make sure I've got these in the right place. Gain a resource. I'm not going to gain a resource for Charlie. Charlie's going to draw a card. He's going to get a dark horse. Carson's going to get an unexpected courage. Okay. Okay. We get our actions back. We move to the mythos phase. We're going to get a charge on the runic axe. We're going to put 1 doom on the agenda. And then we're going to draw a card for Charlie. Charlie's going to get beyond the veil. He's already got one. He's going to get other power. You must choose. Draw 2 cards and place 2 doom on the current agenda, or take 2 horror. Well, putting 2 doom on the agenda is going to move the experiment another day closer. I'm going to take the 2 horror. I'll put 1 on Jazz, which kills him. And I'll take 1 on Charlie, down to 1. This is getting twitchy time. Charlie is going to get, oh sorry, Carson is going to get Light of Avagormon. Peril. You must attach Light of Avagormon to either the current agenda or current act. Limit per 1 agenda. Treat all damage as direct damage and all horror as direct horror. I'll put it on there because that will go once we flip it over. I have to pause for a sec because my camera keeps dipping down. Bear with me. Oh, that's a bit bad, but it keeps doing it. So there we go. Right. Where were we? That was Charlie's card. Then we're going to get Carson's card. Ah, he gets a thrall. Engaged with him. Spawn location with most clues. That is the science building. Carson's got that. Okay. Well, maybe that's not going to cause us too many problems. We go to the investigator phase. Right. What are we doing, MB? What are we doing? We've got to kill this thing. Charlie, first of all. Need 3. It's a tricky one. I've got to do 4 damage. Two there potentially. Two there. Gotta go for it. I've got to go for it. Okay. We're going for it. Charlie is going to move in to the science building for his first action. Oh no, hang on. Let's go. Ah! Cost 3 to play it. 4. 5 versus 4. 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. Yeah. First action. He's going to move in. Second action. He's going to fight with the fire axe. He will spend 1 resource to deal +1 damage. Down to 0 resources. So he gets +2. So he's fighting at 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to play a summoned hound and a trial by fire to give us +2. So that's 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. Come on. 6 versus 4. Oh. -4. Ah, God. Chaos bag. We fail. 6 versus 4, -4. We fail. Damn it. Third action. Fight. Fight with the fire axe. 1, 2. I'm at 2. 2 versus 4. I can't. Oh, God. I can't even fight. No allies to exhaust. 2 versus 4. The elder sign is +3. I need the elder sign. I need the elder sign. No, -1. If you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. 1, 2, 3. Damn it. Damn it. -4. That's it for Charlie. God. Can't do the last 4 damage on this thing. Right, Carson. He's already engaged, so I've got no wolf mask in play. His first action is going to be to fight. So he's 2 versus 4. We'll plan unexpected courage to give us 4 versus 4. And we'll take one of these off to make it 6 versus 4 to do 1 damage. 7 versus 4 because of runic axe. So 2, 4, 5. Actually, hang on a sec. 2, 3, 4, 5 versus the runic axe. Remove the charge to make it 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4 minus 1. We do a damage to it. 10 of 3 more damage. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Second action. Second action. Got to fight. Fight with the runic axe. 3 versus 4. 3 versus 4. 3 versus 4. Plus 0. So I still fail. Draw 1 card. Vicious blow. I fail. I think the final thing. I could attempt to evade it. I could attempt to evade it. Yeah. Third action, we're going to have a go at evading. We'll chuck a backpack in and we'll chuck a soothing melody in to make me 4 versus 2. 4 versus 2. Zero. We do evade it. Unfortunately, Carson is no longer for this world, but there we go. That is what it is. And that's it for Carson. We go on to the enemy phase. We ready the experiment. At the start of the enemy phase, we ready the experiment. And then Charlie takes 3 and 3 from the thrall and the experiment and dies, or Carson does, sorry. Blurt. And then Charlie takes 2 and 2 from the experiment and dies. Oh my God, I thought I was going so well there. I thought I was doing okay. But that's what happens with Arkham Horror. So let's have a little read of what happens. So if no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated. That's what's happened. As you flee from the university, you hear screaming from the northern end of the campus. An ambulance passes you by and you fear the worst. Hours later, you learn that a rabid dog of some sort found its way into the university dormitories. The creature attacked students inside and many were mauled or killed in the attack. In your campaign log, record that Professor Warren Rice was kidnapped. Okay? In your campaign log, record the investigators failed to save the students. You are haunted by guilt. Add a stone token to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign, which is what I'll do. Each investigator earns experience equal to the value X of each card in the victory display. Each investigator earns 1 experience as they reflect upon the night's events. So we've got 3 experience, 1 for the Law Library, 1 for the Yiffian, and 1 for that. There we go. 3 experience. Oh, I thought I had that. I really did think I had that. It was going so well. Couple of bad pulls of -4. Started to sort of run out of options really quite quickly. But it is what it is. We move on. We move on to the next scenario, and we can see how Charlie and Carson can do. We've got 3 experience. 3 is what we needed. So we're now going to get script reaver for the runic axe, and then that's pretty much me done, I think, for upgrading the runic axe. Although Saga's quite nice. Replenish 2 runic axe charges at the start of each round instead of 1. Could work towards that. So, but we will have, and then we've got 3 experience to spend for Charlie as well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed me not swearing at the chaos bag. Done pretty well there to keep it not 18. And I will see you on the next scenario for the Dunwich Legacy. Hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please like and subscribe. I am going to fix my camera, which seems to be keeps turning around, but we'll sort all that out for the next time. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much. Ta-ra for now. As ever, me back again. I jumped the gun there a little bit because I should have been reading Interlude 1 Armitage's Fate as well. So let's do that now, just to finish off. Check the campaign log. The investigators were unconscious for several hours. Read Armitage's Fate 1. which we weren't. So I'm going to read Armitage's Fate 2. When you arrive at Dr. Armitage's home in Southside, you find him sitting at his desk, pale-faced and sweating with worry. He is grateful for you for searching for his colleagues, but he doesn't look relieved. With a long pause, he straightens his glasses and explains, I'm afraid I must apologise. There's something I didn't mention to you earlier. Dr. Armitage then spins you a tale that you would scarcely believe had it not been for the harrowing experiences earlier that night. In the campaign log, record the investigators rescued Dr. Henry Armitage. Any investigator may choose to add Dr. Armitage to their deck, and he doesn't count towards the deck size. And then we can continue to scenario 2, the Miskatonic Museum. So we've got Henry Armitage here. He's got 2 wild icons. He's a 2 and 2 ally. After you draw a card, discard that card and exhaust Dr. Henry Armitage. Gain 3 resources. I think I'm going to put him into Carson's deck. He would be good in he would be good in Charlie's deck because of his skill art. He's got 2 wild icons. But I'm thinking I think I'm more like him in Carson's to get the stuff out. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that. Hunter's armor and stuff like that, all expensive. So he's in. Right, that is it. We're going to move on to scenario 2, Miskatonic Museum, and that'll be the next one. Thanks so much. Ta-ra for now.